All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Had 1 week a pause of streaming, but now I'm back. Good to see you all here. And thank you so much for the subscription around the bend. Thank you so very much. That was quick. Today I'm doing something which I think I was asked for in one of the last streams. If I don't want to show some actual work I'm doing on actual projects. So that is what I'll do today. I'll take you with me into an actual project I'm working on, and we'll work on the code together. Now, I will say it is a side project. It's not like the only big thing I'm working on right now, but it is a side project, and it is a project I might actually release and maybe get some paying customers, though I'm primarily building it for myself, but it could be useful for other people too. Because what I'm building and what I'll show you today and what we'll work on together today is a little AI image generation app. And I know that is not super innovative, but A, it doesn't have to be, and B, what I'm building here for me is a little app which simplifies the process of quickly switching between different AI image generation models. And then I'll also add some utility features like having different styles I can pre-select and making it easy to reuse images for future image generation, have a mode where you can generate images from one and the same prompt with different models at the same time. So a couple of things which I do from time to time. And currently, whenever I generate images with AI, I do that from inside Google Gemini or from inside ChatGPT, and so on. And instead of using all these different services, or instead of using something like Replicate and using the very basic UI and basic features that you have there, because their main selling point, of course, is that you use their API, instead of doing that, I'm building my own service. And I don't care too much if it's helpful for other people. It's helpful for me, but maybe it also is for other people. And if you make an AI image generation for game dev, you will make me pay. Actually, I want to get into game dev. I want to do some game dev further down this year and next year, so I might, we'll see. Anyways, this app, which I got here, is a Next.js project, and it's absolutely not finished. It is not finished at all. The UI is not finished. Right now, it's Chat CN, like in all Next.js apps these days. It's Chat CN, it's buggy. A lot of features have not been added. The multimodal and multi-input parts here are not working and totally not done. Video generation is not working yet. And so I'm working on that, but today I want to add authentication and payments, because I think that is interesting to watch, hopefully, and it is something I will need at some point anyways. And this live stream will be saved. Yes, it will be on my YouTube channel, on my second YouTube channel, Maximilian Schwarzmüller Extended. I upload all my live streams to that channel, and you can watch them there anytime. And this one here will be up tomorrow. So, got a work in progress Next.js project here. Here it is, using Cursor. Of course, also using some AI. And I want to add authentication with better-auth, because better-auth is a really good, relatively new authentication library, which has taken the JavaScript community by storm, which I guess doesn't mean much, but still, it's a really great library. And I have shown better-auth before in other live streams. I will not walk through better-auth in great detail here, and I will also not walk through the setup process in great detail here, because I did already set it up to some extent. In my project, by the way, this project, I said it's Next.js. That's totally not true. It's a React single-page application and a Hono backend, which is Node.js and Bun library, an alternative to Express. And thank you so much for the subscription. Awesome, 2 subscriptions already. What a day! Thank you so very much, both of you. So I'm using Hono as a backend, and I got a single page application using React with Vite and React Router. And in that backend, I already did set up authentication using better-auth. So I'm importing it here. I'm also using Drizzle as a ORM. I'm using that in conjunction with better-auth. So I got that all already set up and hopefully working. And I also already added some Polar code, and I'll get back to that. Polar is the payment provider I'll use. But I'll start with authentication here. So I got that already set up. But what I did not do is I did not really wire up authentication in my front end. So right now, users aren't really getting authenticated. So that's the part that's missing. So if I go back to my application here, I think no, I don't have an authentication page, do I? I'm not sure. /auth. Let's see. Did I already add one? I spent the last few hours only working on the image generation. Okay, I only got a placeholder. So I got a placeholder for the authentication page. So I'll add that, and I'll actually let AI do that for me using Claude 4. So I'll say in the authentication route, please add a basic auth form, password plus email, with support for login and sign up modes. Use shed CN. Components are already installed. See the UI folder. There also must be a link to switch between modes using search parameters. We're using React Router in this app. So I will let the AI do this here and take a quick look at the chat. Hi, Max. How are you? I'm good. Thank you so much. How about you? I hope you're good too. Why don't you make programming courses anymore? Well, who says that I'm not doing programming courses anymore? True, the last couple of months, there hasn't been a lot of new releases. It's been more AI because AI is the thing. And I'll be very honest, programming courses are not doing that well. And so I create or update the courses that are doing well, obviously, because that is also my business. But I'm still programming, and I will definitely also still do programming courses and updates. So that does not stop. Does it always generate a unique image, or can you give it a reference to go off and duplicate and make small edits? Yeah, definitely. What I'm building here actually supports both. You can use it to generate images from scratch, or you can use input images and enhance them. Also, excuse me, also depending on which model you're using. Any upcoming discounts, bundles, or giveaways? Well, giveaways, no. I've never given away courses, and I will never. It's my business. I don't work for free. But regarding discounts, you can visit academine.com. And if you go to the courses there, if you click on those courses, you will be forwarded to the course page with the best offer we currently have applied. So you can give that a try. Hi, Max. We need a course that covers all the advanced things like dealing with GIS building. Not sure what that is, to be honest. Big dashboard, chat app. Yeah, so building like a complete app in a course is unfortunately something which doesn't sell super well. But I try to cover things like that in live streams like this, maybe also on YouTube. I learned React, Node, and SQL from you and Udemy many years ago and have made a fun career of it. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I'm super happy that all these courses were helpful. Really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Plan for new courses? Not right now, but there definitely will be more courses and updates in the near future. I'm just not working on one right now. I'm a little bit confused. This is Angular. No, this is React. This is React. So now I got this auth page here. I think it will do. I can switch between these different modes. Obviously, this is not final, but it will do. And now I need to make sure that users can authenticate. And for that here, in my front end, I'll add an auth.ts file. And I'll make sure that I also install better-auth there, the better-auth library, because I need the client-side part of better-auth there. And I'll just follow the official documentation for that. Integrations, no, under getting started. Create a better-auth instance. Database tables. Where is the client? Here, the client side. React. This is the code I need. And here, my backend is running. I think it is port. Yeah, it is port 3000. So that should be fine. So that's the client side code. And now back in the authentication page. Let's just accept this. I will validate it later. It should be good enough. In there, I want to use this client-side code to authenticate. So let's see if that works. If I import the auth client, or what is it called? Yeah, it's called auth client. Here, we want to check which mode we have. If the mode is login, I want to use sign in email. Otherwise, it's sign up email. And in the sign up case, we also need to provide a name, which I will also set to email. So this is all just better-auth, built-in better-auth functionality. We'll get back a result. And that result could contain an error, which we might want to handle. But for now, I'll not do that. I'll just assume it works, just to quickly also get to the payments part. So that should, in theory, let's see if it works. I have not prepared this. This should, in theory, send an HTTP request to my backend through or with help of the better-auth package. The better-auth package will send that request, and it will send that request to the backend. And on the backend, I already did prepare, I guess not everything. I need a auth route there, but I did prepare the general auth setup, but I need to add an auth route, I just see. So let's quickly take a look at the official Hono guide. This is what I need. Course, we will also need that. I think I set up course here. Yes, I do. So let's add auth.ts. And then I just need const auth equals new Hono. So that's just essentially setting up a specific route. Oh, why is that not working? Return. Oh, because I got a name clash, so I got my auth routes here. So essentially what I'm setting up here is for my backend that I got a catch-all route if the request targets /API/auth. And I then handle all post or get requests through the better-auth package on the backend. And that package will take care of validating the credentials, setting a cookie, sending back a response with that cookie, and so on. So that's the idea. Now, one thing I quickly want to check, because I'm not sure. Base path auth. I think I just want a star here. Then an index.ts, I need to register my auth routes. And here I want to handle all requests that start with /auth. And on the client side, on the client side, where is it here? The base path also must be /auth to tell better-auth that that is the path on the backend it should send a request to, at least in theory. Okay. I think that should be all, but I'm also pretty certain that it won't work. But let's see. Let's open the DevTools here. Whoops. And let's see if signing up works. So let's just use some dummy email and then click create account. Okay, got a course error. Not 100% sure why. Because I do set a course header, maybe just with the wrong methods. Let's see. Course allowed headers methods. Okay, are we sending a different header here that is being blocked? I mean, I can just allow all headers for now. And I will check if my frontend is running on that port. Yes, it is. So I think we should actually be allowing this request. Let's see again. It's the good old live stream testing where something goes wrong that is super stupid but easy to overlook. Why am I still getting that error? What are the official docs saying about course? Content length, max age, credentials. Let's make sure we match that setup. Post get, allowed headers, expose headers. So yeah, actually now I have the exact setup from the docs, and I will take a look at the chat in a second again, by the way. Okay, so now I got no course error anymore. Now I got invalid origin. I think that is because I have not enabled this frontend as a trusted origin on the backend. Let's see. Trusted. Well, frontend. Let's hard code it for now. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. That's a different error. That is related to Polar. That is okay. Before we fix that, let me dive into the chat. So authentication seems to work in general. We just now need to take another step related to payments. I'll get back to that in a second. Oh, wow. So much interaction. That's amazing. The Angular course will definitely not get an update because it got a complete update, completely redone last year, and it still is fully up to date, therefore. So that course is more amazing than ever. If you want to learn Angular, that course is in really good shape. I'm enrolling in your React course in Udemy. A friend of mine recommended it. He learned a lot and has an amazing career. Yeah, I wish you all the best. The course, I think, is super complete. There's so much React knowledge in there, all the basics, lots of advanced stuff. So that course should definitely be helpful. I'm happy it helped your friend, and I hope you like it. And I hope you get a lot out of it. To get it for a good price, you can visit academine.com, and then there under courses, as I mentioned before, if you click on a course, you get a great price offered. Have you tried OpenHands AI? I haven't. I don't know that, to be honest. What's your opinion on using libs in general? Especially what happened with NPM packages. Yeah, that stuff is super scary. So in case you missed it, like I think yesterday or 2 days ago, there was a huge attack, a huge security issue related to NPM packages because some compromised packages, which of course then are used by other packages as well, were successfully pushed to the NPM registry. And if you used one of these packages, or one package that used one of these packages, the specific compromised versions, you could compromise your PC or your applications that use these packages. And that is, of course, such a huge attack vector, such a huge problem, that one compromised package can have such an effect that is definitely one reason to be very careful about which packages you're using. And in general, I try to not use too many packages. Now, I will say there isn't really a way around React or for authentication, something like better-auth. And of course, all these packages use a lot of other packages, which then in turn also use a lot of other packages. So if you use packages, that is just one danger you have. And the best you can do is constantly track what's going on so that you quickly get noted about attacks like the one that happened yesterday, so that you can check if you're affected. And I did that. I checked which versions of the affected packages am I using in my projects and do I need to take action. And thankfully, I was lucky. I was not affected. Is Stripe still a good option? I think it is, but I'm using Polar for payments, and I will tell you why in just a second. Recently passed your Go course. Thanks a lot for the provided material. What side project could you suggest to try write in Golang for beginner? Happy to hear you liked it. Now for Go, I definitely recommend either building a web app, a REST API, for example. Could be anything, could be something basic like for a to-do app or for an online shop if you want to have a bit of a more fancy, more complex project. Or Go is also great for command line interfaces. So you could build your own utility programs, maybe a program that uses some AI to summarize text or anything like that. And these would all be great practices, I think. I tried learning code and I started using ChatGPT and other AIs, and now I can't do anything properly and I'm stuck in this help from AI hell. Yeah, I think the problem with AI really is I'm using it a lot too, and you can definitely get into that cycle where you rely on it too much, and especially if you're learning, if you don't have a lot of knowledge yet, it's super easy to feel like you're getting stuff done, but you aren't actually. That's the huge problem with AI, and I think the only solution to that is to also sometimes take pauses from AI, and especially if you're learning, learn without AI, learn it without AI first, and then use AI to ask follow-up questions, and use AI as an assistant for learning, but not for generating all the code. At least that's what I'm doing when I'm learning something new. Are you planning to talk about some off-topic themes in this live? Well, like I'm doing it right now, but not super off-topic, because I definitely also want to get into adding payments and so on. I don't want to talk all the time and then not get to that, I guess. Love you, man. Yeah, love you too. Love you all. Love all of you. Thank you so much all for joining and for all the nice feedback regarding courses and so on. Honestly means a lot to me. Not just saying that, it honestly does. What course should I do if I want to learn properly in web dev? So if for my courses, I got a web development bootcamp course. You find that on academind.com too. It takes you from 0 to web dev essentials. That might be a great start. If you want to learn a framework like Angular or React, I got courses on that too, which might be great next steps. So yeah, that would be my suggestions. Have you tried Alpine? I have, but it's been like 2 or 3 years ago, to be honest. So I don't remember a lot about it. But I think I liked it, but it was some time ago. The Angular course is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I put a lot of work into that complete update last year, so super happy to hear you like it and you got a lot out of it. Thank you. I'm super beginner, just the basic of here and there. Would be so good to start from basic. I think I know, but my foundation isn't that proper. His way of teaching is good, I can understand. Thank you so much. Super happy to hear that my way of teaching is helpful. And yeah, I try to create my courses such that they can help total beginners, but that they also got lots of important and useful knowledge if you're a bit more advanced, because I want to cover both, essentially. As a senior front-end dev, the Angular course is really, really good. Thank you so much. So much. The 100 Days of Web Dev course is not updated, but then again, it doesn't really need updating because the things I and Manuel teach in there haven't really changed that much. We're not using AI in there, but then again, for learning, I wouldn't use AI initially, just then to get better or for follow-up questions. Okay, so let's get back to this app here. The error I'm getting now is related to Polar. And what is Polar? Polar is a payment provider I want to use here. Polar.sh is the address. It's a relatively new payment provider, and it's a merchant of record. And that is also the reason why I'm using it here. What is a merchant of record? It is essentially a payment provider that builds up on Stripe. I guess all these merchants of record build up on Stripe. So why don't I just use Stripe? Well, I could, and it's not that difficult to use Stripe. Well, it has its quirks, but you can definitely do it. But using Stripe has one problem, at least if you, like me, live in Germany, and that is taxes. A lot of people, I think, don't know that or just don't care. But if you're selling stuff on the internet, including software as a service products, you need to make sure that you collect and remit sales tax. And I know that's not a fancy topic. It's just something you need to do. And I know a lot of people from the indie hacker bubble don't give a shit about that. But if I don't give a shit about that here in Germany, I will get into problems with the local tax authorities, and I'm not super interested in getting into problem with them. So merchants of record essentially step in between you and your customer, and they take on the responsibility of collecting that sales tax and the appropriate amount of sales tax, depending on which country the customer lives in, and they also remit it so that I get the net amount from Polar. So they make sure that I'm tax compliant in all these different countries in which my customers live. Regarding sales tax, I still need to pay my own income tax and so on, but they take care of the sales tax. That's my number one reason for using Polar or other merchants of record like Paddle or Lemon Squeezy would be another popular one. Now, it's not all they offer. They also simplify the process of implementing payments and handling payments in your application, but you pay a premium for that. It is more expensive than just using Stripe. So if you don't need the tax part, yeah, you could still use Polar or other services because it still is easier and maybe quicker than using Stripe, but you're paying 4% plus 40 cents per transaction. And for Stripe, I think it's 2.9% plus 30 cents. So there is a difference. But for the taxation reason, I'll use Polar. Now, Polar is relatively new, and they essentially, I think their plan is to make it really simple for developers, really appealing to developers to use Polar because it's so easy to integrate Polar into all kinds of applications, not just React applications. They got lots of SDKs for TypeScript, Python, PHP, Go, and then they got framework adapters for all these JavaScript frameworks. So they really try to, and also for Laravel, they really try to make it simple to add payments. That's the idea behind Polar. And I have played around with them a bit already, and I can tell you, yeah, they really do make that quite a bit easier. And it's especially interesting if you're using better-auth for authentication, which I do, because when you do that, there is a Polar plugin. So I'm on the better-auth documentation page now. And there, hello, is my internet connection gone? That would be bad. No, I guess it's still there. Maybe it's just a better-auth website. We hear you. That's good. Okay, so I try to... It's maybe just a better-auth website then. Let's see if I reload. Yeah, I think it's working again. So let's see. Plugins. Polar. Come on. Okay, here we go. Not sure what was wrong with that navigation. So here we are. What's really great about better-auth, and that's why I want to give it a try today, is that they got an integration with Polar. So they want to make it really simple to basically combine authentication and handling payments, because of course there is a relation, because in the end it's your users that will hopefully pay for your product. So here in my application, I already added authentication with better-auth. I did all the setup work here and it seems to work. But now I want to use that Polar integration. And I already got started with that. I did already install some Polar better-auth packages and the Polar SDK for TypeScript. And I create my Polar client with some secrets that are stored in my environment file. And then here, this is all the better-auth setup down here. In there, under plugins, I added the Polar plugin and then two other plugins, Portal and Usage, which are also from the Polar ecosystem. And this will now combine Polar with better-auth. So the checkout plugin is the important one here. And what Polar will try to do here, or what this plugin will try to do, is whenever I create a new user through better-auth, it will automatically create a new customer on Polar. So what I need to do to use it is I need to set up a Polar account, which I link to my site. And I already got started with that using the Polar sandbox so that I'm not actually sending around money when I test this. And I just created a new account, just entered my account name. And now as a next step, I need to create a first product. So that is what I want to do now. And for this app I'm building, I think I want to charge users, I want to charge customers per generated photo or image, or with a subscription. Let's actually go for the subscription here. We can always change this later. So let's say here we got the basic. And I haven't set up subscriptions with Polar before, so I'm not quite sure how that works. But let's say we have a basic plan here. Basic application usage. And we can change all that text and so on later on. We could add an image, and the pricing is monthly. And let's say that would be $8.99. And it's a fixed price every month. Now we can add an additional price, but I will not do that. I think that metered price might also be interesting because Polar has great support for paying per usage, but I will just set up a standard subscription, $8.99 per month. What's interesting is that benefits part here. Polar also makes it quite simple, as far as I understand it, to unlock certain features for your customers when they pay or when they buy a certain product. So for example, here we could set some credits. We could attach some credits to this subscription to make it very easy to keep track of how many images have been generated. So we could say our subscription is about basic image generation up to, I don't know, let's say 100 images per month. So now I want to make sure that people can only generate 100 images per month. What I could try now is I could set up some credits and attach them here and create a new image generations credits type for I always forget how to, let's also name that image generations. And there we'll look for an image generation event, and I'll show you how that works in just a second. So I want to count the number of image generations. Yeah, and here I got 100 image generations. The number is, oh no. Oh, I'll add it in a second. Yeah, that token, I'll take care of that in a second too. For now, let's go to the dashboard and let me fix that product, which I just messed up. And there, this is now hidden by the chat, I guess. So let me bring that over here so that it's no longer hidden. So here under meter credits, I'll create a new 100 generations, image generations, 100, and I use my image generation counter here. And you'll see how that works in just a second. So now I attach these 100 credits to that product. So I got one product, my basic subscription, and it got 100 credits attached to it. And we can use that all through the Polar SDK. That's the idea. Now, in order to use it, I need to go to settings and I need to create an API token. And you don't want to select it all, but for now I will select it all to not waste too much time going through all the different scopes and figuring out which ones I need here. So I'll name this test, create my token here, copy that token. And I know you just saw it, but this is just for the sandbox anyway, so it doesn't really help you that much. I will now, on a second screen, navigate to this project and add that token to my environment variables file, because I don't want to show you that file, because in there I actually get some other variables which I don't want to expose. So let me quickly do that. Polar token. Okay, saved it. And now in this app, I got Polar set up. Now here under products, we can already add the product we added here. So let's go here. Let's see, where can I get the ID? I guess it's this one here. And you don't need to do that, but that makes it a bit easier to load that later in the application. So I'll name this basic here. And that makes my app aware of this one product I added. Okay, so what I did do now is I created a new account. I set up a token. I added the token to this application. I named it Polar token. And here I also need to rename it to Polar token now, because that is the name of my environment variable. And I also need to set that success URL. Yeah, should be fine. So with that, let's see, if I now try to create a new user, test2@example.com. If I create an account, that looks better. Got no, it does not look better. Polar customer creation failed. Test2example is not a valid email address. The domain name example does not accept email. Okay, so I'm not allowed to use that. So what I'll do instead, I guess, is I'll need a realistic email address. So let me use, I don't necessarily want to use mine. It's too bad that I can't use this one. Yeah, I guess I have to use an email address which I own. So let's use Maximilian Schwarzmüller at academind.com. Create an account. And now it fails with a customer with this email already exists. Yeah, that is what I feared. I already used that in another account. Another demo account I have, I should say. Yeah, but I think I have an email address which I can use. Let's go for... That's some dummy email address I don't even use anymore, I think. Yeah. So now that went through. Now that went through. And as a result, I'm using SQLite in my database here. I got a user, this user, which I just created with that dummy email address. I guess it's a real email address, just not one I'm using anymore. And if I now go back to Polar under customers, we should actually see that customer there. Unless it's possible that I messed up and I did copy it's possible that I did copy my Polar token from another app. Let's see, let me quickly grab that token again. Or use a new token. Well, actually, no, I need to quickly log in on a different screen. Let me quickly check. Where is that customer? Oh, that's the wrong one. I'll be back in a second. I just need to make sure that I find that customer. Yeah, okay, I used the token of the wrong app. I can see it in a different app. So I have multiple Polar accounts. Let me quickly delete this one. Okay, let me create a new token here. In this app, new token, test2, select all, create, copy that. And now hopefully add that correct token. Okay, so I did that. Now I also need to get rid of that user here. So I'll quickly SQLite 3 defdb, delete from user. Is it not called? Oh, it's users. So that I delete that user. Good. And if I now create a new account, that hopefully works again. And let's see if now we got the... Okay, why is it adding that to the wrong Polar account all the time? Do I have the wrong... Can I configure the endpoint here or the account it's using? Weird. Anyways, not sure. I was able to see that customer in a different Polar account. I'll investigate that later because it's not too important here. Imagine that a customer was created here, a customer with that same email address. So here I got my user in my app, in my database, and now I got a customer with that same email address in a different Polar account for reasons I don't know, but it is there. And that is the important part, I guess. Yeah, I just refreshed it on a different screen and there again it is. I don't know why. It's really weird. Because I can't really tell Polar which account. I would guess the token should be telling Polar to which account that customer should be added. I don't really see anything else I can set up related to that. Anyways, let's not worry about that. Let's imagine I do now have a customer here. I do have my products here, and we'll see if I can interact with these products since I somehow seem to be talking to the wrong account. Yeah, Yeah, it's just too weird. I mean, I will probably run into problems here. Server URL, is that what I need? The default server URL used by the SDK. Let's say, what are the docs saying? Yeah, the Polar access token, I named it differently. I named it Polar token. Yeah, I did go through all that. Huh. Well, I guess we'll see whether it works or not, because that's the main reason why I wanted to use it. The cool thing you can do, if I do now go back to my app here, is you can now handle the checkout through the better-auth API on the front end. So let's again use AI real quick. And let's add a checkout page. So in my front end, on my front end, I'll add a checkout TSX file in the routes folder. Let me quickly bring that to the left again. So I added this checkout TSX file here, right? And I want to add a little checkout page here. So I'll say in the checkout TSX file, set up a basic checkout page that allows the user to choose from 3 different subscription plans. Basic, Advanced, Pro. Output some dummy perks and information related to AI image generation, since that is what my app is about. Add a purchase button that becomes active once the user selected a plan. Make the basic plan, the advanced plan, the recommended one. Also register this as /checkout in main TSX and add an entry to the sidebar. Okay, so now AI can do its thing again, and I can take a look at the chat. Is this better-auth better than the one built in Hono? Does Hono have a built-in auth solution? I don't think it does it? I mean, it has like JSON Web Token support and so on, but better-auth is like a complete authentication solution which offers everything from user creation, management, session management, and also advanced plugins that help you with managing organizations and teams with members. So I think it's more capable, as I understand it. But I will say, as you can also see, it's not like I've spent hundreds of hours with better-auth and Polar. This is also new for me. I'm just exploring it together with you, essentially. I actually have a project using Firebase Auth and Stripe, which I imagine is similar to this. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. As I explained, the difference between Stripe and Polar is essentially like how they handle taxes. I'm 29 years old and I feel very scared that with age the number of opportunities will decrease. What age range do you fall onto? Well, I'm 36 and I can definitely understand that it's all scary right now with AI and so on, especially if you're in the development sector. I will say that my strong feeling and what I see with I'm working with AI every day, like so many of you, I guess. And to me, it becomes clearer and clearer that AI is a useful tool, but I benefit so much from my skill set of being able to write and understand code. And I'm 100% certain companies will realize that too in the next, hopefully, few months and years. So I feel like time will be much better for us developers in the hopefully near future than it has been over the last 1 or 2 years. So I think the number of opportunities, if you are open to leveraging AI, will probably be much bigger than it has been like 5 or 6 years ago. That is what I believe we will see. I don't feel like it will shrink. Instead, I think it will open up many new opportunities, and especially also if you think of like starting your own business or doing something like this, I feel like AI really gives you a lot of extra power there. So I only see more opportunities in the future, to be very honest. That is my feeling, at least. I can be wrong, but that is my feeling. I'm 54. I have no fear. I turned 57. I'm still learning. Yeah. You always have to continue learning and adapt, of course. And I'll be 100% honest here. If we wouldn't have that entire AI stuff, I'd be perfectly happy. I don't need it. I don't need all the image generation, video generation, ChatGPT. It's useful, but I'm not convinced that it will make the world that much better. It hopefully will. Right now, it feels like we're all just seeing AI ad generation, automation startups, and I'm not sure if we need more ads and more fake stuff being generated, but that is like the prime use case right now. I hope we'll see more AI assistants in medicine and the stuff that matters, actual useful assistants. I hope we'll see that. But it is here, so we have to adapt and use it, I guess. And yeah, that is what I do. Do you still code manually? 100%. I do code manually. I guess AI technically writes like 80% of my code because, I mean, here, this entire component here, completely written by AI. But what I then do, not right now, but from time to time, I just don't want to waste time here in the stream, I'll go back and manually tweak and enhance it, and I often have certain problems where AI just doesn't come up with a solution I like, and then I do build it from scratch, or I build the first 10 or 20% from scratch and let AI do the rest, or the other way around. AI gives me the initial draft and I finish it. So I do still code manually, absolutely. Why SPA plus Hono instead of Next.js? I use a lot of Next.js too. For this side project, I just really wanted to get into Hono, give it a try, experiment with it. So that is really the only reason. I use these side projects always as an opportunity to play around with new technologies. Do you have experience launching your software as a service? Will you do a course? Once I got rock solid experience, I definitely will consider creating learning materials on that. Right now, I haven't. I've worked on tons of client projects, internal projects. I haven't launched a SaaS yet. So right now, I would not say that I have that experience. I have a lot of technical experience, but regarding all the marketing and stuff, I have not a lot. Okay, so let's see. I got this checkout page here. Doesn't look too bad, I'd say. Got my 3 plans here. Recommended one, can select it, can click purchase. And now I want to make sure that when I do click purchase plan here, I actually make that purchase. And now that's the part where I fear that somehow I'll run into problems because I, for some reason, have not, I don't have a proper link to my Polar project. But I'll see if that becomes a problem. Because now, of course, in my checkout page here, I want to purchase a plan. Now, I got 3 different plans here, but for now, I'll just buy that one plan which I have set up here, right? So I only have one product. I'll try to buy this one. And now since I added Polar through that better-auth integration, what I can do is I can set up Polar on the client side here. So I will actually go to my auth client here, front-end auth client, and there we also add plugins. And here I also need to add Polar. So first I need to install this package in my front-end folder and start the development server again. And then I can create my Polar client here. Let's see, nope, from @Polar better-auth. And this should now allow me to interact with Polar, with my payment provider, through my backend with help of better-auth and the Polar integration from my client-side app without setting up my own backend routes, without sending my own HTTP requests. Instead, that all, hopefully, will be handled by this library. So on the checkout page, we can now go to that component, handle purchase. And in there, I'll keep that if check. I'll use auth client. And now there is a checkout property I can access. And that's normally not there. I'm using my better-auth auth client. And if you don't have the Polar integration, there is no checkout option here. Instead, you can use sign in, sign up, what I used before on the authentication page. But now I got checkout. That's a function I can call. And now I pass an object to that function. And here I can specify the products that should be checked out. And I think that's just an array of product IDs. So what I'll do is I'll grab that one product ID which I have. And of course, in reality, you would try to load all products. And let's see if we maybe also got an option for that. Polar. I don't have a lot of experience with that integration. We would load it from the backend, I guess. But maybe there also is an integration that makes it easy to quickly get all the products we set up. I don't see a property that sounds like it here, though. But of course, you could simply add an API route on the backend that returns all the product IDs of all the products you're offering. Here, I'll just keep it a bit simpler. And I'll grab that product ID here from my backend, which is that product ID I got here in Polar. So there in my catalog, I got this product. And I think I can copy the ID like this too. So now back on my front end here in the checkout page, I'll pass that here. I think I could also use that slug, by the way. That slug which I set up here, I think I could also use that. And this will then return a result, I guess. Do I await it? Yeah, I get back a result. We can log that. And let's make this an async function so that we can use async await. And now let's see what we get. Maybe we get an error because the account is not linked properly. But yeah, we'll see. So let's select a plan, any plan. Let's click this and I get an error indeed. Checkout creation failed. Yeah, that's too bad. That is too bad. I'm afraid that is the case because it doesn't find a product for that ID. Product does not exist. Yeah, because for some reason the wrong account is linked. And I don't know why. I don't know why. What did I do wrong? I'm not sure. I mean, as I explained before, the customer is getting created in the wrong account too. And I'm not sure where exactly I'm linking this account incorrectly. Because I don't want to show my environment variables file, but in there I really only got the Polar environment, which has a value of sandbox. And I got the Polar token, which is that token I grabbed from this account I just created. So the token from this account. This token I created before. So I'm really not sure how it's possible that I'm interacting with the wrong account. Because that token only belongs to this new account I added. I mean, there is this server URL I can set. I don't know what the default server URL is, to be very honest. Why is this? I mean, one thing I'll try, if I revoke that token, I should theoretically get an error related to authentication. But I still get product does not exist. So it somehow seems to be using the wrong token. But how is that possible? I'm just looking at it on a second screen. I'll create another token here, but that is the right token. I am in the right account. Let's add a new token. Let's select all. Test. Create. Copy. Let's copy it like this. And off screen, I'm pasting it in. I'm verifying that I pasted this one. It is linked. And still, I'm getting that error. It almost looks like a Polar bug, but that would be such a weird bug. Polar success URL is just a URL it will forward to after a checkout, and that is set to, I can paste that in, that is set to this address here. So that should not matter. And Polar environment, I can here are, I copy and pasted this from the environment file, which I opened on a second screen. So from this very, from this very file here. And that's what I have in my end file. So it should really, it should just work. Wait a second, if I start this, is this an error I'm getting here? Polar environment. I mean, bun automatically loads the env file, I guess. But is there a way bun environment or .env file? Can I force bun to load it? I think it loads it automatically, but --env file. We can try this, I guess. Oh, now it worked. Yeah, now it works. Okay. Not sure what went wrong. I think I somehow did not load the env file. I don't know, but now it's working. So now we're going to the checkout page. Now, one problem we'll have is that the user is not in this account. So actually what I'll quickly do is I'll go to cookies and clear that authentication cookie. So to log out essentially, because I don't have a logout button yet. And I'll create a new user. And I'll first delete that user off screen in the wrong account. Okay, and now I'll create that user again. And now hopefully it will end up in the correct account. Oh, I also need to delete it here. Delete from users. Let's quickly check that that user was deleted. Yes, it was. Perfect. So now let's create it again here. Whoops. Okay, let's see. Is it here? It's here. What about, yeah, now it's also here. So now we can see that user, that's the magic of this integration. Now it was created here as well. And now if I go back here to checkout, keep in mind, the only code I have on my checkout page is this line here in the end, where I use the better-auth client for checkout thanks to this Polar integration, and I tell it which product the user wants to buy. Here it's hard-coded. In reality, we would of course fetch that from the backend, and I'll add that functionality later. We would fetch this from the backend and also render these plans dynamically. Right now it's all hard-coded, but with that one hard-coded product, if I click Purchase Plan, I'm forwarded to the checkout page. And now I can choose from all these payment options here. I can enter a dummy credit card number because this is a sandbox. This is not actually being processed. I can enter my name. I can pick my country, Germany. Now the tax is calculated and added. And if I click subscribe now, it handles this in the sandbox. It's not actually doing anything. I then get an error because the success URL I set up is actually an invalid URL. Yeah, I got the wrong port number. Doesn't matter. It handled that. And if you take a look, you can see we got one sale now. Got one sale, this one order by this customer. And that all happened with just this one line of code, which I find really convenient. So that in the end is the integration. So let's see, what do we have in the chat? Max, you teach very easy to understand. Thank you so much. Means a lot to me. I try my best. Yeah, so thank you very, very much. Do you have experience launching? I got that already. Do you have an updated Next.js course? Yep, I updated it. I think like 1.5 years ago. It's fully updated for the app router, so you should be good to go with that course. Re-recorded it from scratch for the app router. As a senior dev, I enjoyed watching the live. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Thank you so very much. Happy it was helpful or is helpful. The main problem about AI in this industry is with expectations from clients and PMs. They started having unrealistic expectations of development and are increasing pressure because they started playing around with Claude and ChatGPT and think to themselves that devs are just playing around and procrastinating. They want features to be developed ASAP. Also, they get stupid ideas. I agree 100%. That is exactly the problem. AI is helpful. AI is powerful. But AI is unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, it's not that magic tool that just replaces a developer just like this. But people or managers are made to believe that it is that thing and that it does 10x or 100x developers, and therefore they expect that. And of course, these expectations can't be met. Yeah, I 100% agree. Okay, so now we got this. We built this. Now let's add more products. Or actually, let's use this metering. I think that's the more interesting part. You might recall I added these credits to this subscription, 100 image generation credits. It's hidden by the chat here, but I added 100 image generations to this product. And the idea, of course, now is that if a user goes to this page and wants to generate an image of a horse, photorealistic, unauthorized, I think the problem is that I need to first take care about user authentication and properly checking that on the backend. I am checking on the backend if the user is authenticated. Why is that not going through? We should have a valid... Let's see, we should have a valid cookie. But it's possible that I'm doing this wrong here in Hono with better-auth. So how should I check? Whoops, sorry. Request raw headers. That is what I'm doing. Yeah, I think that should work. Is my cookie not part? So if I click here, interesting, there's no cookie. But I do have a cookie here. Yeah, I do have a better-auth session cookie. Which errors do I have here? Oh yeah, that's the unauthorized. Oh, but I think on the front end, we're not attaching this cookie to the back end, probably. Where am I sending this request? Here. Got my utility function here. I think I want credentials include. Yeah. Just make sure that the cookie is sent along to the backend. And there, the backend, with help of the better-auth package, validates that the user is logged in. Okay, so now I generated an image here with the Nano Banana model by Google. I could switch to one of the other models, of course, of a horse, photorealistic. Obviously, the UI is not finished, but it did generate that. Now what I want to happen in this app is whenever I generate an image, I want to decrease the number of remaining credits for the user because they purchased a subscription which gives them 100 credits per month. And the nice thing is, since I added these credits here in Polar manages these credits for me. I just need to tell it when to reduce the number of credits, but it will renew them every month. I don't have to do that. I don't have to store the credits in my database. Polar will do that for me. I just have to let Polar know when to reduce the number of credits. So what I can do is I can go to my backend, to my route where I generate the image. Here, generate image. And, excuse me. Actually, that should also go into the try catch block, I guess. And this code obviously is also not final yet. But what I want to do is once the image was generated, or maybe once I also stored that in the database. So in my database, I'm storing information about the generated images. Though not all yet. I also want to store information about the file and where it's stored. Yeah, but anyways, once that happened, I want to reduce that counter. So on the server side now, I can use auth. So I set up better-auth on the client side, on the front end, and on the back end. And now I want to use the back end version of the better-auth package, so to say. So I'm using this auth client, which I did set up on the backend. Here I am. And there, since I added that Polar integration there too, I can also access API and then also, for example, checkout, and also ingestion is what I need, I think. And I got that from the official docs. I played around with this feature before already. Ingestion is a property, a feature, you could say, that's added to the better-auth package that allows me to notify Polar about certain events, to ingest data in Polar, you could say. And for that, now I need to take a look at the docs, how exactly that worked. For that, let me see, Polar. Oh, I forgot. For some reason, that navigation doesn't work for me. So let's open it in a new tab. Polar event ingestion. Polar's usage-based billing builds entirely on event ingestion. So I want to ingest an event when I want to decrease that counter. So I want to fire an event with a certain name. And I want to fire an event with a name that I set up on Polar before. There, I set up my image generation meter. So that counter for image generations, if you want to call it like this. And in there, on this meter, I also defined the name of the event I'm watching for. I just need to find the place here in the Polar dashboard where I can see that meter. I mean, here is that concrete meter for the 100 images, but that's using this image generations meter, and I wanna edit the underlying meter, not the specific 100 images one. Where is that? Is it under settings? Nope. Members, probably not. Custom fields. Nope. Wait, where can I edit this? Where can I edit this? Because if I add a new one, I'm looking for this window essentially, which I see is hidden. I'm looking for this window where I can set up a counter essentially. And I set up an image counter, and then I can set up different versions of that counter for 100 images, 200 images, which I can then attach to the different products I have. But for the base counter, I could add a new one here. I can define the name of the event I'm watching for. And whenever an event with that name is triggered, I can tell Polar to count it. And then it will automatically manage that. It will count how often an event has been triggered for a certain user in a certain period. And that gives me the information I need to determine if that user still got generations left or not. Now I could set up a new meter, but I already did set up one. I just want to quickly take a look at it to see which event name I did set up there. But I think it was image generation. So what I would do here, in line with the documentation here, is I would set event to image generation. Actually, that's on the client side. I want to do it on the server side. So I guess it's body event image generation. And then metadata, you could add some extra metadata, but here I don't need any, so I'll just pass an empty object. So what this should do is it should send an event to the Polar API behind the scenes for me and tell Polar, hey, for the currently authenticated user, for this request, we got one new image generation event. And thanks to the product I set up on Polar, this user bought the basic product, for example. They got 100 of these events per month. So I tell Polar that a new event occurred, they know how many events they have, and they store both pieces of information. Now what they won't do, I think I read in their docs, is they will not block image generations. They count them, and they therefore can tell me once the user exhausted all generations, but they won't stop the user there. The user can go into the negative, so to say. It's my responsibility to stop the user. So that's why in that same route, after authenticating the user, I can check if they still got image generations left. And I can do that again with auth, API, and then I think there is a meters object, a meters function, sorry. To which I need to pass a query. And that's all in the official docs, by the way, how you use these APIs. And there I can essentially, if a user had multiple meters attached to them, multiple counters, I might have paginations. Here I know I only want to get like the 10 first counters. For me, users will only have one counter anyway. Anyways, so I can then log that meters information here, and I'll open my console so that I can see it. And now whenever I try to generate a new image, unauthorized, why am I getting unauthorized? Hello? Why am I getting unauthorized? Is that coming from that meters code here? Okay, so that's that meters code. Do I need to... Yeah, and that's from the event. That's when I try to register the successful generation. Why unauthorized? Oh, yeah, because I need to, of course, attach the headers, which include the cookie. Otherwise, it can't authenticate the user. Yeah, I also need to do that down here. Headers, add them. And now if I tried it again, now it works. And now we can see initially, I got some meters data for that user. And interestingly enough, there is no information about active meters in there. And then thereafter, I get some error, failed to persist AI generation. I'll take care of that later. Why am I not getting any meters information for that user? I mean, that customer, we can see, by the way, the event was registered for this customer, so that worked. But why? They got one image generation, great. They got a subscription. And that subscription should normally have that meter attached to it. Because that product, the basic subscription, oh, it's not enabled. Okay, I need to enable that. Okay, so now I enabled the 100 image generations for this product. Adding it is not enough, you need to enable it. Now if I send another request, the question is if they get it now, since they bought it before I enabled this, right? So that's the problem, maybe. Oh, and I also didn't save it. Okay, let's save it. Let's try again. Yeah, now it's looking better. So now what I got is this here. That's coming from this code where I get information about the counters that are attached to that customer. And there we can see they got 100 credits and they consumed 2. And now I can use this information. So I can say, or actually I can do that myself, I guess. So we can check if meters why no auto-completion? Result, items, the first item, So, or let's say if not meters or meters result items length is 0 or meters result items consumed units is greater or equal than meter result items credited units. If any of that is the case, I want to return an error because they don't have enough credits. So right now they should have enough, so I can start generating, and I'm getting some other error. But if they run out of credits, as managed by Polar, I should be able to block this. That's the idea here. Now, what's that other error I'm getting? What is that other problem? Is that related to my ingestion code? That returns a promise. Failed to fetch object metadata. So looks like something went wrong with storing that image. That's weird because it worked before. Maybe because I moved that into the try catch block, but that shouldn't matter, I guess. Result images. Yeah, I guess I won't worry too much about that right now because unfortunately I gotta go in a couple of minutes. But yeah, it's not related to payments, obviously. Yeah, but I'm happy that I was able to at least implement some of those payment authentication features. All, of course, pretty rough right now, obviously. But hopefully still interesting to see. I'm, as you can tell, still also getting started with Polar and better-auth, but I like their the combination of the two. I like it that you can, hopefully, in a stable way, we'll see, but that you can use better-auth in conjunction with Polar to easily implement things like customer creation, starting the checkout process, checking if a user still has credits left, and so on. Because if you think of it, and by the way, this is not a paid video or anything like this. I just genuinely like these packages and services. But if you think of it, normally you would have to build all that stuff on your own. You would have to build your own API routes that you talk to from the front end, that then talk to the payment provider to start the checkout process. You would have to do the same to check for remaining credits. And here that all still happens, but it happens behind the scenes thanks to better-auth and Polar. So yeah, I find that quite interesting. I'll continue to investigate that. And maybe we'll also dive back into this app next week. Obviously, I'll continue working on it in the meantime, at least if I got time for it. But yeah, I want to continue working on this app here. I guess I also will publish it at some point. And if I do publish it, I definitely want to have payment in there. And I will let you know how things go and if I stick to Polar, if I stick to better-auth. But yeah, looks promising and looks simple. So I guess that's that. So I hope that was helpful. The 11 Labs caption thing is also something I'm still working on. Probably I should not be working on like 10 side projects at the same time. But then again, I like switching from time to time. So yeah, that project is almost done. So we might also dive into that in a future stream or a YouTube video. Maybe I also do some devlogs. We'll see. Just got too much stuff going on also in my private life right now. But yeah, definitely I'm trying to dive into all these things. Hopefully this today was helpful. Which framework is this? This is a React single page application using Vite and a backend built with Hono, which is a Node.js or Bun. It works with both framework. An alternative to Express, you could say. Is this OS? Not sure what OS means. You're an absolute rock star. Your ability to break down complex tasks like adding better-auth and Polar in such a clear, easy-to-follow steps is mind-blowing. Yeah, thank you so much. Super happy to hear it was helpful. There were some hiccups here and there, but that also might be interesting. Oh, open source. No, this is not open source. This is my own project. It's closed source. Yeah. So that's that. I don't do app reviews right now. Would also be interesting for the future, I guess, but not doing it right now. Got too many other things. But I will note this as an idea for possible future streams. Anyways, I gotta go. I hope it was helpful. I will upload this stream tomorrow, so you can watch it on my other YouTube channel, as I mentioned before. I'll continue working on this and all the other projects, and eventually I'm sure some of them will be done. That's the channel where I will upload this stream to, and yeah, I hope it was helpful. I hope you have a great day, night, evening, morning, whatever it is for you, and I hopefully see you in future streams and videos. So have a great time. Bye.